Hey guys, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Taylor.
And this is our show. We're gonna
give you some tips on how to survive the first semester of middle school.
So, here we go. We have a couple stories and also a couple tips to go along with it. Sorry, we're kind of stupid. We have it all written on this piece of paper. So, first of all, this is Taylor. The first tip went with her story. So.
Alright, so make sure you have everything before you get out of the car to go to school. And maybe get there a little early, just to make sure you will have time to do everything. Because on my first day, I got out of the car 5 minutes before school started, and I was walking around, supposedly to my first class, and then I realized I don't know what my first class is. So I looked in my backpack for my wallet, where I had my schedule. My wallet wasn't in my backpack. I had been looking at it in my mom's car, and I had left it in there. So I had to call her, and it took her a while to get there, and I ended up late for my first class. So make sure you have everything before you go.
And if you really want to be safe, make a checklist, backpack, books, all that stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff to be responsible for. And also, here's mine. I was at school and it's new and you don't know where the buildings are or anything. So I was too afraid to ask someone where all my classes were. So here's your tip. Don't be afraid to ask questions in class or to anyone, because you're going to get lost or you don't understand something. So just don't be afraid to ask questions.
And if you really want to be safe at orientation, while your parents are in line getting your schedule or whatever, just go around, or maybe after you have your schedule while your parents are getting something else, you go around and look for all your classrooms and maybe go and see how long it takes you to get to each class, see if you have time to talk to friends in between, or if you just need to get your butt to class.
And your school may not be like ours, and you're going to be an inside school, and if it is, you should know where your classes are. But ours is outside, and
a whole bunch of different buildings.
A whole bunch of different buildings, like 200, 300, all that stuff. So just make sure you know where your stuff is and ask questions. And also, this one goes for both of us, and I think to anyone else, any teenagers.
This has happened to pretty much everybody.
And be careful who you tell your secrets to, or anything, because a lot of stuff spreads really fast in middle school.
And it can change. Like, just the slightest thing every time. And you could say, oh my god, that guy's really hot, and all of a sudden it's you made out in the back of school or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just how it happens.
Things go around really fast in middle school, and a story can change in 2 seconds. You can tell your best friend, and when it comes back to you, it's a totally different story, and you don't want that to happen. So if your friends are offended if you don't tell them, just tell them, just tell them the truth. Tell them that you're not the person, not you're the person. I don't trust you. Don't say that, because that's mean. Just say, I haven't told anyone. I mean, it's a little white lie, come on.
Yeah, and it can get, especially because it can get to the person who it's about.
Exactly. So, tip here, trauma spreads fast.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, you can tell someone you
trust. Be careful who you tell.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one that's to both of us. We are in band. Yeah, go Band Geeks. Woo. Don't care what you say about Band Geeks. We love it. And
we say it about ourselves.
Yeah.
Come on now.
We have a band teacher. We're not going to tell you the name, but he's really cool, and he gives a lot of tips about life and also about music.
Yeah, and one time we were staying in his classroom after school just because we can't really go straight home because our parents are working, so we hang out there. And our friend, she was in an after-school program thing, and she called us saying that a couple of girls were talking crap on us. A couple of girls that we're in a club with, and we're kind of like...
Color guard. We're in color guard.
Alright, fine. Captain and co-captain, and they talk crap on us.
Unofficial co-captain. Anyways, so, she was, I guess, talking crap. We're not going to name names. So our friend called us and said that and came to us, and Mr.
Band teacher asked to have the phone, and he called our friend and asked, and said, can you please give the phone to the girl who was saying bad things, and he told her off. Unfortunately, he said it in a polite way, but because we would have liked it to be cussed them out and stuff, but that wasn't gonna happen.
But teachers don't do that. They just said, since she was on a team, you have to make commitments and stuff like that. This goes to a lot of people. You made commitments, so that's your first thing you do after school, unless you're dying or something like that. But if you make commitments to a team, make sure you keep it. And okay, so here's the next one. Try to be as friendly as possible to anyone. I mean, if they're a really bad person, then whatever. But to anyone, if you aren't, you will have a bad reputation.
Like when I eventually I did get into the after school program, but unfortunately all my friends who are in it, and they're the only reason I joined, they all have last names that start with A through M, and mine starts with P. And so I was in a class by myself, and I didn't talk to anybody, and eventually one guy came up asking a question. He asked if I wanted any beef jerky, and I said I'm a vegetarian, but apparently I looked mad. And so he said, geez, why do you have to look all depressed all the time? So everyone in there thought I was depressed or emo or whatever.
Or emo. Of course, she's not, but,
No,
just,
I'm color guard, band geek, all that stuff. Cheerleader.
yeah, so just a tip, try to be as friendly. You don't want to get a bad rep as a, you know.
Yeah, because you can get labeled bitch like that.
Okay. So,
she didn't want me to say that, but I've been dying to say that.
okay, so, our next tip is always join clubs. When you join clubs that you really enjoy, you can meet people that like to do the same things you do.
Like with band, although everyone has kind of like a bad band, we joined anyway, and there's like 60 people in there, and they're all just like so cool.
When you join clubs that you enjoy, it'll give you something to look forward to if you have it later in the day. It'll give you something to look forward to because it's just really fun. You're like, oh my gosh, I have this class next. I'm so excited. And clubs are like at lunch and stuff like that at our school, but electives and stuff like that, they're a class. So it's really fun to get to join clubs with people you like.
Yeah, we got lucky. We got ours at the very last period of the day, so we'd come from our math class, which everyone except me seems to hate, and then we'd go straight over to band and be like, yes, finally, the really hard academic day is over. Now we're going to learn about something that we're really interested in.
Okay, this is something that I learned. It's another tip, of course, this is a show about tips. If someone bumps into you and they say something to you, don't say anything back. I mean, even if you bump into them or they bump into you, it doesn't matter. Don't say anything back because they can turn around and punch you or hit you or do something. Who knows? Because I bumped into someone and they turned around and called me a name, and I just politely ignored it, even though I didn't want to, and I didn't even know that person. So just...
And there are plenty of fights at our school over who knows what. So
exactly.
We've had things taken.
There's just fights everywhere.
We've had breaks and stuff taken away. There's so many fights.
Yeah, if you don't have a break, then yeah, we don't really have that a lot either due to fights. Anyways, here's one for all the girls. Don't go too extreme on makeup.
Yeah, because I didn't really know about makeup and stuff. I'm not wearing any right now, but...
Neither am I.
Yeah, but usually I do, but I don't wear that much. I wear a little bit of something to even out my skin tone, because as you can see I'm very red. And then I just wear a little bit to make my eyes stand out. But some girls wear eyeshadow and eyeliner and...
Blush. And just like major mascara and eyeliner. Don't put too much on.
Because although you may think it looks cool, people don't say nice things about you.
Bad. You don't want to look emo.
Or, like, bad.
Yeah. Okay, this is one for my friend, or her, actually. She's my friend. If you're uncomfortable kissing or making out, don't be afraid to say that you don't want to or no.
Because I had 3 boyfriends this year, and all 3 of them I told them specifically, I'm not going to kiss you, and I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'm allowed to have a boyfriend, but I'm not allowed to do that. I'm a little goody two-shoes, I know.
Just a little.
And I was afraid they were going to be like, oh, then I don't want to go out with you and stuff. But all 3 of them said, either I wasn't going to ask you, or I've never done that anyway. I don't plan on it.
And if you tell a guy, you know, I'm not into kissing, or I don't want to kiss, I will not kiss you, or make out, or whatever, and if they dump you right there on the spot or later on too early...
They're not worth it.
They're not worth it. Obviously, they didn't like you for who you were, or even for your looks, for that matter. They just wanted you for one reason, and you know what that is. Like all boys. All boys like that.
Yeah, like one time I went out with a guy who I heard had said that I was hot or whatever, and he broke up with me 3 days after we got together. I don't think he really liked me very much.
Who was that?
I'm not going to tell you his name.
Who was that? Oh, I thought so. Sorry. Okay, and the next one goes for almost everyone, and also there's another tip after this that kind of relates to it. If a friend says someone is cute, don't assume that they totally like them. If I'm like, oh my god, that guy's hot, don't be like, why do you like him? You know, he's so mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, because one of the hottest guys at our school this year was a jerk.
Yeah, and also, if you're with someone and, you know, like, they don't like you for anything other than